let's pump the brakes. We stay in the NBA. The Denver Nuggets, Nikola Jokic, big game, 18 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals. But the Nuggets did fall to Minnesota, 111-108. He went up against Karl-Anthony Towns, another second-year man who had a big game, 32 points, 12 rebounds, 7 assists. Would you say Jokic, though, is the most under-the-radar guy in the entire association?
Man, look, it's a star-driven league, and the stars get so much of the headlines and the attention that there's a lot of guys that fly below the radar. But I think that's true. Okay. I think Nikola Jokic, when you look at his ability to pass, I know it's only about 4 when you round up there, 4 assists a game, but I see a big man that can do everything on the floor. He is that next level kind of hybrid 2017 big man that you want, that can knock down the outside shot, has great vision, tremendous passing ability, and can take you off the dribble and has some post moves as well. I think the nature of him playing in Denver not being so great, it being a secondary NBA market, I think part of it is just the nature of him being a foreign-born player. So, you know, we didn't exactly get to see him dominate in college. We didn't kind of grow up watching him the way we did with some of the other players in the NBA. I think all of that compiled together leads to the most unheralded player in the NBA right now. When you watch him play, I think he's going to be an all-star for many years to come once he really continues to figure it out. But he's on the way there. He stepped up to that challenge against Big Cat Karl-Anthony Towns
today. Do you think that motivated him,
Definitely.
being up against Karl-Anthony Towns?
Definitely.
Like, a lot of people feel like he's one of the marquee guys, one of the future faces. I have something to prove.
Yes, I do. And look, he ran into a buzzsaw. Towns had a great game tonight, and Jokic found himself on the bench with a little bit of foul trouble because he learned the hard way. Cat's a lot to deal with.
For sure.
You know, he's a lot to deal with, one of the worst matchups for any big men to try to defend in the league. But I think he was up to the task. When he wasn't on the bench due to foul trouble, I thought he handled himself very well. He's not as good as Karl-Anthony Towns, but the gap is not as great as you may think for a guy that's Rookie of the Year, who we knew in college, who we knew at Kentucky. We were waiting, a number 1 overall pick. And then you look at Jokic, who is definitely not a household name. And as a foreign-born player, I think a lot of people, how do you say his name? Yep. Who is that guy? You watch him play, and this guy's, the talent disparity is not as great as you'd think.
Absolutely. When you look at what Jokic did offensively, I mean, he was banging offensively when Karl-Anthony Towns was guarding him, had some post moves, was able to score. He couldn't defend Towns, couldn't stop Towns, but to your point, not many people can. So he held his own. You mentioned Towns, the number 1 pick. Jokic, 41st overall in the 2014 draft.
So a little different expectations.
I don't know if the Nuggets thought they were going to get this caliber of player, but he certainly has done some great things there.